Kanowna is a reasonably recent acquisition for Cosmo. We've only had it in the portfolio for about 18 months or so. It was before my time. I joined as MD only in February this year, but when I first came on board, actually as a non-exec director last August, I looked at the portfolio and I thought, Kanowna looks really, really interesting. It's a project that sits midway between the super pit in Kalgoorlie and the Kanowna Gold Mine, which is one of Northern Star's leading operations, prolific producer of gold. So fantastic location, really great geological and geochemical signatures to it. Big alteration systems, a lot of gold in the system. It's sediment hosted, which is a little bit different, a little bit like the Invincible model down at St Ives. So we're, again, working through that. We did a drilling program back in the middle of last year, which delivered some really interesting results, good widths of I guess, non-economic grade, sort of half-gram type material. But it's a really good indicator for us, and we're vectoring in now. We're doing the targeting work to really vector in, well, where do we go next from our drilling point of view to actually see what we can identify at Kanowna. So it's an important part of our portfolio because we think there's a good opportunity for discovery there. So we've got a fantastic share registry, very, very supportive shareholders, Great Boulder Resources, which is our major shareholder. So we were spun out of Great Boulder originally about 3.5 years ago. Great Boulder have maintained their interest and involvement with the company as a very supportive shareholder. We've just recently completed a $2 million placement, and Great Boulder participated in that, as well as a broad range of our existing shareholders and some new investors that have come in and supporting what we're doing in New South Wales. Really importantly, that capital raising was done at a very modest discount to market, only around 3.5% to the last closing price. So it just really demonstrates the support from our shareholders and others in the market that are seeing what we're doing and where we're going, what the leverage is to leverage opportunity to successful exploration. Certainly in the short term, the drilling at Spring Creek is priority number one for us to get the rigs out there and get moving and get that drilling underway and get some results. So beyond that, certainly the work we're doing at Mona, Mount Everest, looking at that, developing that target up and getting that into a position where that's drill ready. And then really working up the other targets. We're talking Bingra, there's other targets there. We've got some antimony prospectivity there that we're really keen on developing further to get that to an understanding of where can we position that for drilling. And then down at Nundle, we've talked about, we've got Mount Ephraim down there, which is a really large scale, compelling target, very early stage. So a little bit of sampling was done in 2007. So we want to get on the ground there. Do the geology, do the sampling, get a better understanding of that, and similarly at the Folly Line. So within that Nundle goldfield, looking at mapping that, getting a really good definition of that. So that should all be flowing through. And then one of the targets that sort of sits in the portfolio now is called Barnard Hut, and it's a really compelling copper target that hasn't been explored since the 1970s. So conceptual target, and we'll be on the ground there as well. So we want to really build that up. So building up a whole range of these targets over the next 6 months.